What's going on, y'all? I'm gonna start the video right here. Just pushed up on the homie again at the dyno shop. Yes, sir. You already know what's about to go down. Get some more work done on the car. Got my rods right here, the bearings, and the bed plate bolts. Here, let me flex my new daily real quick. Yes, sir. Just copped this the other day. 1,500 bucks. Might make some videos on it. I don't know yet. Let me know if you guys want to see that. It's a random like C-Class C280. But here's my dad's friend's mom, and she died recently. They just had this sitting in the garage, so they sold it to me for the low. But yup. Oh, and I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. I got the insane upgraded crank hub, 4-pin. Too hyped. We might drill the crank right now to get that over with too. But yup, we're gonna measure the bearings, and that's probably it for tonight. Each step is one step closer to getting it all together. Yes, sir.
These ones in the middle that don't jog back and forth, these are the mains, okay? So all we're gonna do today is we're gonna just check the clearance on your actual rod bearing journals, okay? So what we'll do is, we're just gonna go ahead and zero this out on the actual journal itself. And then we will take the dial bore gauge and we'll zero the dial bore gauge out on this. We'll put the bearings into the rod. We'll torque the rod to where it's supposed to be. And then we're going to check the rod bearing clearance. Essentially, any delta in that gauge is going to be your clearance.
Yeah.
And so because we have the H and the HX, the 1 thou over,
yeah,
we can mix and match half and half if we need to. Hopefully we can get to 2.5 thou on the rods. And we may have to mix it. It just depends on where this is at right now. It may just be fine as standards, and we may be able to run both standard halves, and that's fine. If we need a little bit more, then we'll use half of the HX and one half standard to get where we want it. So,
for sure.
So yeah, we'll go one.
I was like, what? Hey, it's on the right hand door? One of the small right side of the toolbox, first small door. Okay.
Hold off. Usually I'll toss this into the vise. It's nice. Sometimes we have 2 vices. It's kind of a more baller setup, but working with what we got right now. Get my dial bore gauge. Usually I have a table to do this on, but Brennan's using my table today, so
you're all good. How come the rods are different, like the first one?
What do you mean?
The values?
Yeah. So these are the weights. They're going to be weights on each side.
Oh, yeah.
So, they should be in grams. So 163, 164, 64, 64,
Why don't you
64,
measure
64.
everything on the table over there?
The vise is clamped to the table. I wish, bro. Honestly, what I could do is just put everything else on the table, walk over to the vise, and make my vise measurements there. That might be the easier route. But it's I gave Brendan the fucking table to weld on tonight. I don't have my small dial bore gauge here. Use the fucking super extendo.
So you could use this. Harper. Flexing out those intercoolers up. You usually put the crank up there on it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Sideways, but not up and down.
This is just a dial gauge. Okay. This has a shaft, and so you can basically measure the displacement with the gauge. That's essentially how it operates. So, like what I'll do, I'll go ahead and drop it in until it starts to move. It starts to move, so I know it's made contact. And then I'll put it, I want it facing this way, so it faces towards me. I'll tighten the thing up, and then I'll adjust this until it's like pretty much zeroed out. I mean, it doesn't really matter now because we zeroed on this anyways.
For sure.
Now, like if I press on here, you can see the gauge.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so what I'll do, this thing is fucking huge, dude. I wish I had my small one. So I need to swap this pin tool out for a smaller one. So I think this one's for the mains.
When it does come, with the pin, pull it out.
What are you gonna do today?
Just check rod bearing clearance.
Yeah.
So let's see. This is the right side. You have to put a shim in there. Probably will have to put a shim. So then there's like a few different shim sizes and stuff in here too that I can choose from. And they have to put some shims in. Actually, that worked. That's perfect. Oh man, this thing sucks at this point. Like this. Over.
No.
Right there, now it goes back the other way. See?
Yeah.
So I know that's zero. So this is zeroed out. So essentially what you'll do, you'll rock it back and forth. You'll see there's a peak, right?
Yeah.
And when it gets to that peak, that's where you want to set your zero. So now we know, like if I put it in there and it goes to zero, right? If I now take this and put it in a wider opening, let's just say it's 5 thou wider, the gauge should show 5 thou. Like that's the differential that you get. So fucking aside from this being 12 feet long, because I don't have my short one,
Can make it work.
All your bores on your rods?
well, no, I wouldn't.
Have you measured all the bores on those?
No, so now what I'm going to do is pop the bearing in. And then measure the actual clearance when it's crushed. So this is for one. So we'll just basically come back and load this one.
Here.
Grab a towel.
No, you know. I know 15. It has a little color to it.
We about to drill the crank real quick.
Give me two.
Or two.
One, two, baby.
I
Yep.
see.
And that matches up with what we would expect. So like you can see right there, 2. So yeah, I mean it's like what you would expect because like we wanted essentially we went from 1.5 to 2. If you use 2 halves of the over 1, you get 1 thou more.
Yeah.
So you're getting half of that. You're getting another half of a thou. So yeah, splitting the difference of the 2 bearings will get you to 2.
So we had to use
1 HX.
one standard
One
and one HX.
So yeah.
And that's
So
what we're
you
gonna
are.
probably use for the rest too.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta buy 2 sets of bearings.
Yeah, and even if you like don't need the HX for whatever reason, like just buying 2 sets is always the way to go. Because like, dude, if they come damaged, it just always sucks. Cause then you're waiting a whole other week and a half.
Yeah.
Or you're assembling the motor and you drop a bearing. Like this shit happens, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's happened to me, and like I don't know, 2 sets of bearings for each like bearing type. So like main bearings get 2 sets. You know, the rod bearings get 2 sets.
Yeah.
And like usually I'll get 1 standard and 1 HX, 1 standard, 1 HX, so that you can either run all standards, all HX, or a combination of the 2.
Yeah.
And that will, for, I mean, almost everything, it'll probably get you pretty damn close, assuming you're not like doing any line hunting or anything weird.
Yeah, we have to use like both HX. Like only.
If you found a journal that was really, really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, or you're trying to just like go really crazy with the clearance. Like let's just say
Yeah.
you wanted, like right now, let's say you wanted to go to 3.5 thou on the rods for some reason. Like,
Yeah.
you'd have to use both HXs to get you there. You know, or 2.5. Sorry,
For
you
sure.
go from 1.5 to 2.5. So you'd have to use both. So if you use both, it would get you 2.5 on the rods. I think 2 is fucking.
Yeah.
Good. I think we'll shoot for 2.
For sure.
1.5 is a little tight.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. So 2, I think, will be good. So yeah.
Oh, because we were talking about these skin.
Yeah, I was talking about the little pouch, bro. They skipped us on that.
There's my crank hub. Yes,
so
sir.
what I'll do,
4-pin, insane.
honestly, I'm gonna leave the bearings in here, and the reason I'm gonna do that is so that we know the bearings that are going with each rod. And so I'll go get the pink pen, I'll mark rod 1,
For
rod
sure.
2, rod 3, so on and so forth. Not really that it matters what cylinder it's gonna fucking go into, but it's just so we know when you look on, like when you write down what the clearance was, we know it corresponds to journal 1. So these were in journal 1. It'll just keep us organized for now.
Yeah.
It'll be in the box, and the bearings will be safe.
For sure.
No packaging to fucking
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it back into.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, so we'll leave it in the box.
Alright.
Special key.
No? I think it's one of these, no? Oh, he'll grab one. Yeah, we had to put the crank. Wait, is that the crank ball?
No, it's a different bolt. It's like the mock-up bolt.
And we're gonna have to drill 4-pin for 4 holes.
Why do you think? I wonder why they did it.
Got the titanium fucking drill bit. Crazy.
I think that would make it straight.
It's so tight. I tightened it all the way up. So now this is the actual width of the journal. I'll put the dial bore gauge in here. I'll set that to 0. And then when I put it in there, any extra, that's your clearance. So you're zeroing it out on the actual journal size. And so, like, we just tightened this. I'm going to take it out for a sec just so we can put this in. And I can set that one to 0 now. Here. That.
I've never seen this one.
What, the transmission fluid? Yeah, man. I mean, I don't have WD-40 right now, so. But I got a bottle full of fucking trans fluid, so. Run it.
Gotta do what you got.
Exactly. Yeah, trans fluid is fucking awesome shit, man. It's basically a fucking detergent.
I don't like it when you smell it.
Oh, it smells like shit, dog.
Yeah.
Especially when it's used.
Oh, especially when it's.
Yep. Smells like clutch pack too.
Smelled
Dude,
crazy.
I'm having PTSD of pulling my fucking transmission right now. I can smell that shit. I'm like tweaking out over here.
When we serviced the DCT, it was so bad. It all spilled
It
out.
smells like caca, bro.
Damn, that's easy? Shit. Keep going.
Let's do it.
Damn, this is crazy. sure.
Yeah, this is why putting motors together takes so long.
Yeah.
It's like you put each piece like halfway together, then you check something, and then you put it halfway together, and you check something. It's like
Yeah.
one part, you put it back together again, and you check something.
For sure. And that's one hole down. 3 more to go.
Dude, the most fucking satisfying thing is once you're done drilling those holes, and that thing just
Clicks right in.
clicks right in. It's so nice. And you're like, damn. That's fucking dope.
So wild to see. Never thought I'd be doing that. Is that one similar?
It's actually fucking really tight. So what I'm gonna check the journal again and make sure. I don't believe that one's that tight. There's no way.
What's it saying?
Saying like a little over half a thou. Which I don't buy that. So let me make sure that like, the journal was clean when I checked it.
For sure. Yes, sir.
Take 5, huh?
Dude, it's funny. That little standard is the standard that measures the cut.
Sheesh. You see it? Pin crank up. Yes, sir. Almost done doing the clearances. On the 3rd and 4th one, we had to use 2 standards instead of the
That
first
extra
2.
half a clearance tighter. I
Yeah,
just want to be as close, like around 2, 2.5. I mean, it's fine. But I mean, we have the fucking bearings, so
Yeah.
why not?
for sure. Another big step for the build, yes, sir.